Building some cabinets again today. So far so good. This is my kitchen upper cabinet that we're playing with today. And I had to run these verticals through the table saw. So I've already done that. I've already sanded pretty much everything except the exterior. Just made sure to sand the inside since it's way easier to get to before you assemble it. So basically where I'm at now, I dry fit it once to make sure that I did need to trim these verticals. I ran it through the table saw with the same setting that I had it set up to for the upper cabinet that I've already built. You guys will see that on a video that's coming out soon. I'm making a video about all these cabinets, so I'm just trying to get a few under my belt, that way I can make a video on it. Excuse me. So with that same setting, it actually fit just perfect. I put the backer piece in here after sanding the edges, so it falls in really nice. So I'm pretty excited about that. So what I need to do now, I've verified that after trimming everything, it's the correct dimension. So I need to disassemble it and reinstall everything with some wood glue. And then I'll put some pin nails through it just to tack it together. And once everything is squared up, I'll go ahead and come in with some construction screws. And that way it'll be super nice and tight, and it shouldn't have any squeaks, any weird noises. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I'm just curious of how square it was. Man, that's pretty good. The upper's not quite square, but again, it's just I just kind of smacked it together with the hammer. So anyway, let's get the wood glue. Let's get the pin nailer going. How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving holiday. Christmas is right around the corner. That's right. Anybody got any Christmas travel plans? Let me know. I'm gonna be shipping out of here as soon as I can get enough cabinets built to where I can put the rest of this crap in my truck. I'm booking it. Best believe we are getting out of here. I'm excited for that. I'm dying to travel. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up this other camera I've got going for you guys for the actual video. Going to Georgia for Christmas. What's up, Sally? What part of Georgia? I've got some friends and family in the Atlanta area. Okay. Get that camera rolling for you guys. Get some wood glue. I'm using some Titebond for this stuff. I'm gonna get you guys just a little better. I'm using this kind of not so good tripod, but it's all right. It's doing this job. Just laying down a little thin bead. Nothing too. Grab some water. I'm dying. All right, much better. All right. Please don't hit my truck. Okay, that's sitting bottomed out. Let's go to the next one. I'm gonna go fold my mirror in before somebody removes it for me with their vehicle. All right, all right. What's going on? North Georgia mountains, that's awesome. Sally asks, was the CNC work on your cabinets expensive? Yeah, so in my opinion, it was definitely more pricey than cutting this yourself. Um, in my situation, I don't know CAD design, and in order for me to learn that, it's such a big learning curve, and I have just too many other things taking up my time day to day with my own stuff, that it just wasn't cost effective for me to try to do it myself, let alone design it for the first time as well. I'm not a very skilled designer or any of that by any means, so yeah, it's pretty pricey. I had to pay a guy to make the file, so that's your first step if you're going to go this route, is that you need a file. And the file is basically a 3D rendering, and it's going to show exactly how your cabinets are going to look. And within the file, there are dimensions for all of the pieces. So it's a pretty cool process, honestly. But to get to that point, you need to know exactly the measurements of every drawer, every cabinet, every door, what latches you're going to use, what thickness material you're going to use, and where. So there's a lot of thought that goes into this process before you can even make the file, right? So that took quite a while to get to the point where he could just sit on the computer and just plug away with all the dimensions, and then you go back and recheck and things like that. And then, so you spend all that money with labor. I also had to purchase the software. So I purchased, what was it, SketchUp? Or no, not SketchUp. Some Adobe thing I bought. Anyway, and then I sent the file out to 2 people here locally that have the capability of doing this kind of work. And so, yeah, it was, I could tell you this, the amount of money I spent, parts and labor and materials, between the design, making the file, and the cutting process was more than the purchase price of this truck. And I bought this truck for $4 grand. So, put it to you like that. And then you also have to buy all the hinges and the latches and, this stuff adds up as well. So, but my thought behind this is that I'm building this not only to live in, but I'm going to sell it and repeat this process. And my opinion is that cabinetry, fit and finish makes the build, like makes or breaks a build. For example, there's a Kodiak for sale. I want to say it's 4-wheel drive. It's got the look on the outside. I want to say it's like an ambulance box in the back. It's got the adventure look, you know, it's got a paint job on it. Nothing crazy, right? I don't even think it doesn't even have super singles or anything like that. But you look on the inside and it is so subjective. This guy, I mean, it's just, I don't know how to put it, man. It's basically like the guy took a bunch of material from a bunch of random things that he found along a road trip or something, which is cool. Like there's an audience for that, and if you're building it for yourself to keep, like, go for it, right? But he's trying to sell it for like 80 grand, and nobody in hell is gonna buy this thing. But at that price point, if you have some cabinets, you know, hopefully that I'm building, hopefully I can get around that price point, and it'll make sense for me to buy a newer truck. Looking at the new Silverado, basically, that took over the Kodiak, like the 5500 Silverado medium duty truck with the box. And those trucks come 4-wheel drive from the factory if you option it out. And I saw one the other day, and it was right where I would expect to be before spending money on a build to get to that next kind of level of box truck build. So that's kind of my goal. Anyway. Alright, so I've got the bottom ones in. I'm just going to put some wood glue on the top of these. That'll make it easier, and I could put this top piece on. Alright. This thing's going to be super heavy by the time it's done. I promise you that. This is all 3/4 birch plywood. And then the doors are 3/4 bamboo, which is lighter, but it's still 3/4 inch material we're working with. So beautiful. And when you sand it all, it really just kind of snaps in, which is very nice. Okay, yeah, we're nice and square here. Very nice. Hell yeah. Okay. And then, I think before I smack everything together, I need to get this really big backer piece on here. Just checking with you guys. CNC Military Emblems is the only like. Oh no. Appreciate you guys for joining today. Hope everybody is having a good day. That's right. If you don't have a hammer, you're not doing the job that's worth doing. Okay, so now that everything's square, I'm feeling pretty good. Go ahead and lay a bead of glue right here. Bam. Okay, and this is hard to tell which side's which. Big piece of wood right here. This cabinet is like 90 some inches long. And if you guys are just joining, this is the kitchen upper cabinet that I'm building. My microwave is going to sit over here. This is basically upside down, right? So the microwave is here, and then I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 doors for kitchen storage stuff, which is exciting because if you guys have seen the inside of how my box truck is right now, dude, I've got no organization, just because it's not possible until I get this bad boy up there. Wow. Cool, looking good. Nice and flush on the edges here. Okay. Okay, let's get a little clamp action. Or no, actually, I'm sorry. Yeah, clamp action is fine. My ends, the ends of the cabinets, they're not going to fit inset like this. They're just going to go like that. So I'm not going to get too far ahead of myself if I do that. So no big deal. Get das clamp. Okay, enough of that noise. Let's go ahead and tack it in. Get the old trim nailer. I love this tool. I want to make an adjustment on this before I screw in the top. It's a little proud this direction, but over here it seems flush. So I just need to smack it that way a little bit before we nail all that down. Okay, take this clamp off. Not gonna really be able to show this one. This thing is so wide. It's almost as wide as my whole storage unit. Crazy. Nice and flush. All right, we got the ends tacked down. I'm going to try to bring it towards the edge a little bit. So I can hit a little more of these. Hopefully, I'm not going to flip this table over. That should be enough. Take you guys down here with me. Oh man. Bam. Cool. That'll do for that. Now I've got to figure out how to get these sides on. Oh my gosh. I'm selling an e-bike on Facebook Marketplace right now. Dude, these kids, there's so many kids in this area that are like, and it's a cheap one too, like, for what it is, I've priced it right. And because I bought it cheap, and I put a little bit into it, put some tires and things into it to make it a real rider, you know. And so anyway, yeah, these kids are just offering crazy things on Facebook. My Haro 26 pedal bike and my gaming PC that was built in 2018. It's just like, dude, it's the cheapest e-bike of its kind on the entire marketplace in the area. Alright, so I think I'm going to flip it on its back. That's what I'm sitting here trying to figure out. I think I'm going to flip it on its back. That way I can smack this sucker. Maybe I could do it from right here, huh? No? Oh, that fixed it. Fix that. Yeah. Cool. So do that a couple more times. There it went. I felt it slide. Man, that's perfect. Okay, so never mind. We fixed that. Very nice. Get the clamp out, and we could tack in the whole top from right here. Excuse me. You guys see? Okay. Cool. We're getting somewhere. Now I'll flip this thing over, it'll actually look like something. Man, that's nice. I don't think I could ever cut something this nice on a table saw personally. Not myself. Should be a big kitchen, yeah, I'm hoping. Storage was something that I really didn't have enough of in my U-Haul build, so I'm, oh, somebody just messaged me on the Facebook. Trade? No. Yeah, and then somebody has like, for the past 3 days in a row, oh yeah, I'm gonna drive, come see you. Oh yeah, I had to take my sister to work. Oh, I had a family issue. Oh, tomorrow I'll be there. Okay, no problem. Oh. All right, I'll flip this over just so y'all could see what we're building right here. Man, this thing is getting heavy. I'll tell you what. Is this the same plywood Nomad Brad used? No, it is not. This is material that I got from Sandy Vans. And so this I'll show you up close. How do we flip this sucker around? If you see how many layers of ply there are, this is like furniture grade plywood, birch plywood. It's the same type of material, but this is from like a cabinet shop, you know. If you buy a build from Sandy Vans, like a $300,000 Sprinter, this is the same plywood they're gonna put in it. Same bamboo. This is what the doors are gonna look like. All the cabinet doors and drawers. Just got crazy amount. Look at all these for the drawers. If you could tell, I've got pockets milled in here so that the drawer bottoms just slide into this. So it should be pretty easy once, you know, once they all start going together. But this is how she's looking. So I'll figure out how to get behind or access the sides to put those side panels on. That'll be the last thing I need to do in order to square this up. You got some work to do putting all that together better than IKEA. Yeah. Well, you know, I had to tweak it a little bit. It didn't all go together this easy. I had to run all the verticals through on the table saw, and basically it's an issue with either these pockets not being cut deep enough. That's probably what it is. I assume that based on how everything is going together besides that issue, I feel like the pockets just weren't cut deep enough because they're kind of shallow. I mean, it's enough for sure. But yeah, anyway, what I'm saying is, I don't know, I forgot what I was saying. I just had something come into my mind. Oops. Anyway. But yep, this is still upside down, so microwave is going to go in here. This one's wider, it's like 20 inches wide. All these other ones are a little shorter. So let's see if I can figure out how to get access to the sides. And then after that, I'll flip this thing around and get it facing the right way. That way it'll look correct. Looks like a trim board to go in there or something. You talking about the drawers? Give you a little preview. So this is the front of a drawer. So you would look at it like this, and then the bamboo gets screwed to this, and you've got a recess for the latch hardware right here. Hopefully that works out okay. And then there's this groove that's cut in there, if you could see that. So although this isn't the correct board for this, basically it would slide together like that, and then all the the sides that go on either side of this, they also have a groove. So in theory it should all just kind of slide together like this, and then I can just tack the sides to here, put the backs on, tack that, and that'll be dialed. So the drawers should go together like pretty quick. I feel like I could do all the drawer assembly stuff in like maybe a day or so. Not if I'm going at this pace, but you know what I mean. Alright, let's see if I could get in here. Not really, dude. I think I'd have better luck doing the other side first, but I need more space. Let's tack these in just to make it official. It's got a malfunction. Do we get jammed? Oh, we're out. Reload! Alright, that's good enough for right now. Let me go get some more nails real quick. BRB. You guys hang out there. Which drawer is it in? Which drawer are the nails in? Bam, found them. I love having all my stuff in those pack-out drawers instead of the other kind, whatever that's called. Alright, we're reloaded. Okay, so how we're going to do the sides, I don't know. Just going to have to reach around and look kind of goofy doing it, I guess. Wouldn't be the first time. Okay, should I do this as the out? No. So this, you got to think about this too. Like what side is going to show, what's going to be visible. So this side is going to be visible. This is going to be right up against the bed. Not that you're going to be able to see much of it, right? But you just want to make sure, like, so this has got like a knot patch in it. So I'll put that on the inside. Just personal preference. That's all. Little wood glue. A little bit of wood glue. Just like that. Can I use a clamp for this? Maybe. Hopefully. Here. Watch my struggle. Oh no, wood glue's dripping everywhere. Can we do it with two hands? Let me know if that's working again. I'm using like another app to make this work, and you have to run it in the background. It's kind of weird. Fine now? Excellent. Let's go. Alright, stick another pin nail in here. Okay, now that's dialed in. Let's see if I can scoot this side over. Oh yeah, plenty of room over there. Look at that. Let's get you guys. I think that might just be best right here. Yeah. Yep. All right, more wood glue. Bam. Okay, so it goes like this. And we're gonna put it like that. Okay. Okay. Cool. Sides are tacked in. Looking pretty good. Just wiping out some of the excess glue in the corner before it dries. Good deal. Okay. Oops. Shot one of these nails right through the side. That's not gonna work. I'll fix that when I flip it over. Put another one through. All right, let's see if I could stand this thing, flip it around. Let me make sure. Yeah, this is a bigger side, 20. So this comes in 20 inches. I've got an 18-inch wide microwave. So we'll fade an inch on each side. Hopefully the depth works out. Crap, 13 1/4. Let's double check that. Oh yeah, cool. It's like 11 1/2. So yeah, about 1 1/4 or 1.5 or so. Space that from the back. Probably be perfect. Excellence. Moving right along. Now, the thing that takes the most amount of time is getting the doors to sit correctly. That's the tough part. So, I don't know how that's going to go. But I think for just time purposes, what I'll do is I'll basically get it like this cabinet that's in there right now. I'll get the doors just good enough to close, and they'll be like a little bit off. And then I'll come back and play with it, spend like hours and hours doing that. Also, before I put this in, I need to route a channel on the underside of this. So I have like recessed cob strip channeling, and for the ambient lighting underneath the cabinet, I want that to sit flush. I don't want there to be, like this big bump. Let me show you. So this is basically what the channel looks like if it's not a flush mount. I can't twist it because it's butted up against here, and I'm like laying across the table right now, but you can see how thick it is, right? And I just didn't want something like sticking up, you know, from the underside of the cabinet. So I have a routing bit that's coming in Thursday. Today's Wednesday, so tomorrow the routing bit will be here. And I think I want to do that before I put it in the truck because the router makes such a freaking mess. It's unreal. I'm gonna have to route that like the entire length of this cabinet. So I'll probably do that before I go stab it in the truck. I'll show you what this one looks like. So I replaced the one that I had built. And you can see like the doors are pretty well aligned. They're not perfect. Like this one needs to go up just a little bit. This one's pretty close, but the bottom needs to go up just a hair. Like, but it's minimal. It's like you're splitting a hair, literally. So yeah, we'll route a channel underneath. I'm gonna just go ahead and do this one in the truck. It's gonna make a mess, but I'll just do that one. You can see on this one I put the construction screws in. And I'll be filling these holes in with wood filler, sanding everything, and then we'll probably I'm definitely going to paint the walls white, and I haven't decided if this is going to stay wood, natural wood color, or if I'm going to paint that white or another accent color. The doors are obviously going to stay bamboo. I've sealed this with some sealer, so I'll need to do that for all these doors. So I'm not even sure if I'm going to do that. I'll probably like seal the doors on the cabinet up here while it's up here because it just takes forever. And part of the issue is with doing them off the cabinets is that you'd have to set each door out, you know, in a controlled environment, you know, so you get all these doors just spread everywhere, and I don't have the room for that. So I'll probably just try to do that later. Cool. So let's see. Hopefully I don't drop this thing. I'm gonna try to flip it around right side up. I don't think it's tall enough to stand it there. Well, it's just not going to be that graceful. Just got to send it. Oh my God, this is heavy. Sheesh. Okay. Yikes, dude. Heavy breathing. Okay, now if I could pick it up now. I need to like put this edge down first. Yeah. That's how it's done. Oh, don't fall. Cool. No damage. We're good. All right. So this is the official orientation. How it goes. Microwave there on top of the fridge. 4 doors. Man, I'm gonna have to buy some more kitchen appliances. I don't have I don't have enough pots and pans and dishes to even fill this up. Yeah, it's awesome. Very excited. So let's mock up some doors so you guys could see how it's gonna look up. What up, Mike? Putting these cabinets together. Trying my best. Okay. So we'll have a door there. A door here. And another door here. And then yet another door. Cool. So that's about how it's going to look right there. Watching the Less Rated. Hey, thanks for joining in for us today on this random Wednesday. Say bye, Ted. Yeah, this looks great. I'm so excited. All that bamboo doors, and look how flush it is now. Sheesh. Still have to sand the edges of this by hand with a little sanding block. Put the latches and all the hardware in. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. Yep. I need to make some lunch and also need to do all the sanding. Sally has a question. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Ask away. Not in a hurry, really, to get out of here. Yeah, I'm going to make some lunch. I need to get that router bit, but I guess I could come back and kind of play with the cabinet hinges and stuff and start to bolt on the doors. Oh, that's right. You looked at a new box truck. Tell us how it went. Tell us how it went. Let's talk about it. Oh. Pretty sure you said it was a Unicell Chevy Express. Sales guy said you should buy a Transit instead. Well, that's ought to be okay. I sold cars for a long time, so right there, initial red flag to me is that he's incentivized possibly to switch you to a Transit, whether it's an aged unit in their inventory that has like a bounty on it, because that is a real thing. Whether there is like a manufacturer's rebate or something, if you're looking at like if you're shopping at a Ford dealer. Unicell Ford. Tell us more. Okay, so it was a Unicell Econoline you were looking at originally, not a Chevy Express? I had a Ford Transit for a while. I bought one brand new. I special ordered it in 2018. No, 2017. Sorry, no. 2016 I special ordered it. It was a brand new 2017 model, and I flew to Missouri to pick it up at a place called Matt Ford. and that is, I think they changed names. I don't think it's called Matt Ford anymore. E350 cutaway. Okay, yeah, great. That's a solid unit. Now, okay, so did the salesperson, did he suggest you get a Transit because of what you intend to do with the truck? Or was it just because of availability or something? 12-foot box, that's not bad. Not bad. If I'm my sanding block, I could actually do something here. There we go. So yeah, I'm interested to know why they would try to switch you to another unit. Coming from the car market, the car industry, that's usually, it's like a red flag to me. A little bit of a red flag, but maybe there's a good reason behind it. Did we get any more? Did I miss a comment? Yes, because of the conversion. Okay. So, I don't know. Like, I'd be interested to know his argument on that, and if he's built vehicles, if he's built vans before, um, or what his main concern behind that is. He said because the GVR is slightly above 10,000, can't drive on a lot of roads in New York, for example. Okay, so let me understand that correctly. So if you're over a certain GVWR, you're not allowed to drive on certain roads up there? Is that a thing? I've never been to New York. I've never traveled there. So this is all, that would be a new thing for me. I mean, I can't see that being an issue. I mean, you've got so many commercial rigs driving around. But GVWR is definitely something to consider depending on your build out. Like, most of these rigs are going to be overweight. I hate to break it to you. But most of these, like E350, E450 box truck conversions, mine included, were very likely overweight. Very likely. He knows nothing about conversions. Cutoff is 10,000. So, okay. Let me explain this. Regardless of your salesperson's opinion on the situation, maintaining a Transit versus an E350 is totally different, and let me explain why. To do a transmission pan service, a fluid and filter, which is a very, very common thing to do on vehicles, typically every 30 to 60,000 miles, depending on a lot of things, right? Just to do that service, you have to remove the entire subframe of the Transit. And the subframe is what connects the lower control arms. Your subframe holds your rack and pinion steering. I mean, this is a major job. It requires a front end suspension alignment when it's reinstalled. Like, this is not something you do in your driveway unless you absolutely know what you're doing. And then you still need to drive it to a alignment shop. Okay, example 1. Example 2, to do rear brake rotors on that truck, the rear axles have to come out of the axle housing. You can't just take a caliper hanger bracket off, take the rotor off, and put a new one on. The axles have to come out. It's like a big truck. It's the same setup like on that axle. So the cost of ownership on one of those, not to mention if it's a 3.5 EcoBoost, and it has 100,000 plus miles. Those are very, very susceptible to timing chain phaser wear. Well, actually, it's timing chain wear, and the timing chain stretches out to the point where the cam phasers are maxed out on adjustment, either advanced or retard. If you know about all the, if Mike is listening, he's probably given this. And so basically the chain stretches, the phasers are maxed out. You get a check engine light. The thing needs a whole new timing set, tensioners, timing chain. That is a very labor intensive job. The brake thing I was talking about is for the Transit. To remove rear brake rotors on a Transit, whether it's a single rear axle or a dually, those rear axles have to slide all the way out. It's not a big deal, but it's going to be more labor than it is to do a brake job on one of those E-Series trucks. It could be the difference between somebody doing it in a driveway and you having to take it to the shop. Whatever you buy, it'll be new for safety. Okay. Okay, so that definitely changes things. If it's a brand new vehicle, I mean, the Ford Transit has a 5-year, 100,000 mile powertrain warranty. They drive so much better. I'm gonna tell you this: the Ford Transit, like if you get an EcoBoost Ford Transit, this thing feels like a Cadillac compared to any E-Series box truck. Like the thing, the in-cabin noise is so much quieter. The power delivery on that EcoBoost, like it's gonna fly up those mountains fully loaded. I don't care if you're pulling a trailer, it's got plenty of power to do all that stuff. It's got a 6-speed transmission. Or wait, I'm sorry, if you're buying a brand new one, it's probably got that new 10-speed transmission, which is really, really good. Yeah, I would lean, if it's brand new, I might lean towards a Transit. The drivability on that truck is just so much better than the E-Series. So in my E450, loaded up, like going through Colorado mountains, I was having to like downshift it into third just to keep it in the power, to keep the momentum going. So yeah, I would definitely consider a newer Transit over a new. If we're talking new to new, I would go Transit over E450. Most definitely. Um, Consider getting a dually Transit. Definitely consider getting a dually Transit. Um, yeah. And also, if you're going to do this brand new and special order it, I mean, how much more is it to get a 14 or a 16 foot box, you know? And also, it depends on if you're going to do this full time for long term. So, a lot of variables. For me, from everything I know in my experience, if I'm doing this long term, full time, I'm going to get probably a 16 foot box or an 18 foot. Um, if you guys, okay, not full time, so 12 foot, that's not going to be a problem. You don't have to have everything that you own inside of there. So that's going to limit, or it's going to cut down on the amount of storage that you're required to have if you're not doing this full time, because you don't need every single plate and dish that you own, and you know, every sock and everything. So yeah, okay, so part-time, 12 foot, I mean, I would say that it would work. Right. Um, so I think there's a sweet spot in this whole thing. Fitting into a normal parking spot, for me, I don't really care. Um, I feel like I'm confident enough driving this big truck that I can pull into anywhere and I know exactly how big it is and what I can fit into and what I can't. But if that's a concern, you know, if you want to not run into any of those issues, yeah, 12 or 14. I would go as big as you could go without just, you know, being crazy long, like 20 some feet. Um, so yeah, I would maybe consider a 14. Be able to stretch your legs out a little easier. Um, but then you go and look at a build like Wanderbox. His Kodiak is in a 12-foot box, and he has made great use of that space. Like that floor plan, it's pretty dialed. Now I will say, hopefully you can get a box that's 8 feet tall inside. That would definitely open up the floor plan. Then you could have the option of doing a Happy Jack, like a lift bed. And that really, I feel like that's such a key move to these builds, is having a dual purpose, you know, either a bed lift or a Murphy bed. I just think that's the way to go. Like even the next box truck I build, is the red wearing off on this? I feel like even the next box truck I have will have a split door and a lift bed in the back. That's not going to change. Definitely always have the split door and a lift bed. I prefer the Happy Jack bed over a Murphy bed myself. Yeah, it's like leaving some of the red on the... Yeah, I gotta switch this out, I guess. Switch that out. But yeah, that's gonna be a solid unit. Ford Unicell. If you're looking for a little bit of content to watch on that subject, if you search BERAD, BERAD, on YouTube, it's a friend of mine. He's originally from Michigan. He does a lot of dirt bike content, so you're gonna have to search through his channel to find the videos on his Unicell Transit. He has a, dude, I want to say this thing is like 18. It could be 20. I can't remember. It's 16 to 20, somewhere in there. Unicell, dually all-wheel drive, and his father owns a machine shop, and he's grown up in the machine shop, and so he has made like some really cool stuff for that van. He has like a whole build video. Now it's probably not the type of build that you're interested in doing because he hauls dirt bikes in the back, but it just goes to show, like, you know, it's the same platform, so you might enjoy watching that. But yeah, he's like a dirt bike instructor, riding instructor now. He travels in the van almost full time. He goes back to Michigan here and there to his parents' place. And then when the weather gets too cold, he's got like a whole riding compound at his parents' place. And he's put a lot of time into it. They have like a cool piece of property and some like heavy farm equipment, front end loaders and stuff. And so, oh shit. So he's made all kind of cool track jumps and stuff. I think my dirt bike days are over though. If you go look back on my channel far enough, you'll see some stupid content. I just leave it up because it still gets watch hours. There's definitely supposed to be a certain amount of space in between each door. I just don't know what it was calculated to. I'll just basically have to take the measurement from this end flush to the gap there and then match that on everything. I learned a little bit after doing the other cabinet, so I feel like these doors will probably be a lot straighter. For example, when you go to hang the hinge in here, you have to compensate for the sag in the hinge. So like I could get this thing just dead nuts flush. I could have a board, you know, coming all the way out here to support this so it's square, right? Bolt everything in, and then when you remove the support from underneath, it's got just a little bit of sag just because they're Amazon hinges, I guess. So before you screw it in, you have to like prop it up or force it down before you shove a screw in it. Anyway, it's all part of the process. There's all kind of tips and tricks to everything. It's gonna be something like that. A little something like that. Charlie Pepin, what up? She prefers a garage instead of the Happy Jack. Okay. Arving with Bandit says, what do you estimate your whole build will cost? That's a tough question, man. I would say purchase price plus initial mechanical repairs on this truck were right around 10 grand. How much exactly I've put into it so far, I don't have a number. I haven't sat there and added it up. I know that I do shop very consciously. I waited almost a year to get that Happy Jack. Instead of spending 3,500 bucks on it, I found it for 1,700 bucks on Marketplace. Instead of buying a brand new fridge, I bought one that was like still pretty much had the wrapper on it for 100 bucks. You know, like I could go on and on and on with this stuff. Some things you can't bargain shop with. Anyway, my point is that I know I'm coming in under retail for the build, obviously because my labor, you know, I'm not billing for labor on this project until I sell it on the back end, right? It's hard to say. Like, okay, excuse me, the Nature's Head composting toilet. I think those are like 1,200 bucks. I bought one for 400 off of Marketplace from Rogue Vans when they were moving shops. Like, so if you start to look far enough ahead, when you know you're going to start building something, if you just start looking far enough ahead on Marketplace and Craigslist and all those great Facebook groups like the Box Truck to RV Conversions group, like if you're looking for stuff, try to make a post like, hey, I'm looking for a solar controller, I'm looking for, you know, and if people have this stuff left over from another build or, you know, something that they upgraded, it's a great way to get in and get something for cheap. Um, and it saves a ton of money. Like I've saved thousands of dollars doing that, literally thousands, just between the bed, the toilet, and the refrigerator. Just those three components, thousands of dollars I've saved just by being patient and being consistent with searching for stuff. Like it takes a lot of motivation, you know. You have to be consistent, just scrolling Marketplace every chance you get, all the keywords, all the alerts set up. So yeah, I can't really answer that specifically. When it's done, I'll do my best to tally it up. Don't hit my truck. Okay, so yeah, that's 10 grand was basically what it started at, plus all the materials that I don't really have a gauge on just yet. Harving with Bandit says, I found a Winnebago Revel 44E for 59K, four-wheel drive, already built for you. Seems like it'll be close to the same price as a box truck with no labor. Yeah, so that is a trade-off, you know, for buying RVs and stuff, right? You're going to get something that is move-in ready, but it's not always the perfect layout, the perfect, you know, your preferred material, colors. So that's a trade-off. You don't get exactly what, you know, you would dream of, but you get something that's turnkey ready, and you're out camping, like you're out doing whatever. Did you see Mike's comment of channel in your cabinet? No. What did Mike say? What did Mike say? Oh, what is the notch for? Thought it was to go to the rear for wiring. Yeah, dude, I don't know. If you're talking about the notch that's right here and right here, dude, I don't know what that's for. Neither does the guy that made the file. I couldn't put that towards the back like I did on the other cabinet because oh, shit, because the pocket on the bottom wasn't cut all the way to the face. So I had to do it like that. So it's just gonna be some random little cutouts, no big deal. What up, King? Build a thick cabinet? Yeah, dude, that's definitely a thick cabinet. Charlie says, I'm in a 33-foot Class A, but living in it while I prepare for the build. Just have a pesky bankruptcy to get through first, then we'll buy the truck and start the build. Yeah, man. Hey, sometimes you gotta file that Chapter 13 to get stuff straightened out. As a business owner myself, I understand the ins and outs of that and why it happens sometimes. And sometimes it absolutely makes sense to do that, to reclassify things without, you know, getting too much into all that stuff. Chapter 7, got it. Yep. Protect yourself, brother. Hopefully that all goes well for you. I hope the best. My parents split up when I was like 10, 12, somewhere around there. Luckily, it was very cordial for the most part, to the point where my mom got a job in Houston, originally all in Louisiana, and then my dad got a job in Houston as well, so they could both raise me in a more opportunistic, better economy location compared to the place in Louisiana. So that was all good. It was all gravy. King, yeah, if you're still in here, dude, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this puppy inside of the box truck without scuffing the crap out of it. I'm sure I could get it in there, but with how much damage? I don't know. This thing is heavy, dude. This thing is heavy, and I haven't even put the doors on it yet. But yeah, so might need a hand even bringing this in. But like I said, King, we were talking about that recessed LED channel. I gotta wait till Thursday to get the bit so I can do the routing here, because this is a lot of routing to do. It's like 7 feet, and if I do that inside, oh my God, it's gonna be crazy. So I think I'll wait till then. I had something deliver at the mailbox while we've been hanging out with you guys, so here in just a minute I'll probably sign off and pick up everything, go do some errands, and then get to a spot where I can make some lunch, and then continue about my awesome day. It's beautiful out today. Yeah, definitely gonna wait till then, man. I'll probably even like stick the LED strip in there and punch a hole, get like a little lead of wire going for the controller for those lights. I may even cut up this channel I was showing you earlier and and put the ambient lighting strip on the top of this thing. Let me see if I can grab it just to show you guys. So these are left over from, actually from my shop in Houston. So my buddy Ryan built these for me. These are like custom LED strips. There's two of these. They're just stuck together like crazy. There's a diffuser right here, and this is the channel, right? And then on the end, it's all terminated. Nice connector. So I'll probably utilize these channels that I have and just use that for ambient lighting. That way it's diffused and it'll blend a little better. So I just need to rebuild the inside of these because the lights, they've been on my shop wall for like 4 years. And then I had these actually as accent lighting in my E450. They went above the tracks for the roll-up door, and it made like a big U shape in the back of the truck. It was all addressable RGB strips. So I'm going to use RGBW strips, so I'll need to do it not only for that, but also because some of these are dead. So that's what we're going to do for ambient lighting. That'll be on the top. And then somewhere underneath here for the what am I thinking of? The table lights that shine down, right? I'll probably put like a little button underneath just so I can turn it on and off from the cabinet. What is your box truck now, size and engine? So we are in a 2003 Chevy Kodiak box truck. It's a C4500. This is considered a medium duty truck that's heavier than a 3500 or 4500 pickup truck. This is a different chassis. And this truck has a 6.6 Duramax diesel. Specifically, it's a LB7. This is pre-emission. This was before DEF. This thing, I think it does have an EGR valve on it because it has a Cali emissions RPO or build code. But I haven't taken the doghouse off to verify, and you know, if it gives me problems, I'll delete the thing later. So yeah, truck's been great. I actually chopped the muffler off of it yesterday, so it's straight pipe now. It sounds badass. It sounds like a real diesel now. So that's exciting. It's way more fun to drive now. I get like, you know, excited to drive it again. So yeah, truck's been great. I had to put injectors in it, a couple other things. Just typical diesel life things. But all in all, I love the truck. I really do. The truck is awesome. Definitely enjoy the truck. Yeah, it is good when both parents stay involved, man. I hope it is somewhat on the cordial size. Sorry, it's 16 feet box. 16 feet long. Yeah, hopefully that all goes good, and hopefully for your sake of your pockets, hopefully you got a good deal on a good lawyer for all that stuff, family attorney. Yeehaw. Things we go through, you know. It's not all fun and games. Sometimes the things happen and kind of sucks. I've got a bunch of stuff, you know, that I don't even share, personal things with previous relationships and issues that I still deal with because of those things. But you know, it's just, I guess it's just part of getting older and going through it all, man. Sometimes life can suck, but there's always a silver lining. There's always something. There's always light at the end of the tunnel, no matter how bad the situation is. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Sally, I hope I answered all your questions about the Transit versus Econoline debate. If you have any questions, any specific questions that you want to know, or if you want to just pick my brain on some stuff, feel free to shoot me an email. It's ebikevanlife@gmail.com. If I don't get to it, please like comment on something so it'll actually send a notification to my phone, because that email does not send push notifications to my phone. So like I said, feel free, hit me with all your questions. I'll do my best to answer them with all the best of my knowledge from my experience. And I hope that makes your buying decision a little easier. I hope you end up with the right truck. Charlie says, hell yeah, I would have never see box trucks if I wasn't divorced. It is better. It is for the better. Future plans are great. That's right. That is right. Yes, and if you guys haven't been on Brad's live stream or my last live stream, Mr. King Gamer is in need of a little bit of assistance on this holiday this year. Had an unfortunate incident with all of his what should I say, his assets being stolen from his car while he was working downtown. Pokemon cards, cash, clothes. I mean, every time I talk to him, there's like something comes up in conversation. Oh yeah, they took that too. Gaming consoles, like they took his food as well, man. I mean, that's so low to take somebody's food out of their car, when obviously when you break into something, you could tell that the guy's living in the thing. And then, anyway, so King has a GoFundMe. It is pinned on my last live. And King, if you want to hurry up and paste it in there, or wait, we had this problem last time, right? I just jumped back in. We're going through this again. I got to get on my computer to paste it in there. Dang it. Okay. At the end of the video, I'll go back and I'll edit it. I'll put it in the description. So if you guys are able to help a fellow nomad out, please, any donations are appreciated for King to get him back on his feet and get him back into a box truck. That's right. So I think that's all I got for today. I'm gonna go ahead and clean all this stuff up. I'm getting pretty hungry. It's almost lunchtime. Thank you guys again. See you later.